we focus on view introductory part of this, because next week I may have to start module 2 respective to complete the syllabus, right? That time you should not find it difficult, the concepts of these arrays, strings, built-in functions, all those things. So last class we have not started uh, arrays. So what we did is you have seen these concepts of control statement. So there are two types of control statements. So what are those things we have seen, right? That is if else switch, that we have seen, and we have just discussed while loop, for loop, and do while loop. So major difference between while loop and do while loop had been discussed. All are able to hear my voice, so it is audible, right? And also I forwarded the recordings. So what are the things that we have recorded in the class, I have shared it in the group, so you could refer that. And strength is too less in the class, again I repeat. So I'm not, this week is the last Saturday, I'll see the full strength, and I have to convey the message to the head, because it is an open elective and all have to attend it. It cannot neglect it. So hardly 16 to 18 members are attending the class. So in the 8 sessions as of now, today is a seventh session of the week. Still the strength is 18 to 20, so it is to be debatable, right? So today, very simple, before I start, let us have one of the simple tracing program for loop. So this is a program, last class we did, write a program to compute a sum of a number, sum of digits of a number, that is sum of a digits of a number. The input is you give 1 2 3 4 5 6. You have to get the count of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 is equals to 10 10. First thing is, so what type of statements will you go? Will you go for if else, or switch, or will you go for looping statement? Simple concept. We have to add not only once, we have to add this one operator plus again 2 operator plus 3 plus operator 4. So addition has to be done continuously. So with that point of view, we'll go for a while loop or the for loop. While loop or the for loop. So here the program has been written using for loop, while loop. So what he has done is into the num. So let me share the sheet of a tracing that I have uh, just discussed, just taken with the point of to make sure that you understand the program. So this is a given program. So let me have this. So this is a given program. So first what happens, so this is the input that is given. This 1 2 3 4 5 is stored into the variable called num. This 1 2 3 4 5 6 is stored into the variable called num. So that is, it will ask you enter the number. So what will do, scanf percentage d. So it has taken long double. One long double, because since we are taking a long number, the capacity of the storage should be more. Hence we are taking not only integer, we are taking long integer. Since the capacity to take 1 2 3 4 5, it is a big digit, right? In terms of 10 12 lakhs. So this capacity has to be entertained. So ld, long double. Next, just try to concentrate what we have done next. What we have done is, so we have stored it temporary for this. We have not touched the original number num1. So number 1 2 3 4 x still remains in the memory only. We have copied this, that is, we have copied num into temp. We have copied num into temp. Num is being, again, one more copy of num is placed in temporary purpose. It is to retain the old memory of the number, because we might require num. We cannot directly play with the memory of num. Hence we copy this memory to one more variable called temp. And what do we do is, we'll store it in the temp. Next, what we have to do, we have to compute the sum of the individual digits of the number. So in that case, what will test whether the whether the entered digit is 0, because if it is 0, simply you don't have to count. The sum of the digits is 0, like that you have to print no. So with that point of view, what you have to do, first iteration 1 2 3 4 5 6, here 3 is missing. 1 2 3 4 5 6 not equal to 0. Yes, it is not equal to 0. Hence what you have to do, you will let us start from the end point, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6. So let us start from the end point. I need to extract this digit called 6. How do you extract it? Simply calculate the 1 2 3 4 6 mod 10, that is 1 2 3 4 6 mod 10 will give you 6. Just divide it. So and find the remainder. It is not division, it is a mod function. When you divide 1 2 3 4 6 and you get the uh, remainder, so what happens when you get the remainder? So the answer will be 6. So I'll just erase this, else again lot of confusions you will have. So that is why I have written it clearly here. Now you see, now you see the tracing is, so when you find a mod function 1 2 3 4 5 mod 10, you will get 6. So 6 will be added, because sum will be sum plus 6. Initialized value of sum is 0, you could see on the screen. 0 plus 6 will be added and it will be stored in the memory of sum. This is the initial memory, first iterated. Then what happens again in the temp? So you have, it is not that only once we have to calculate 1 2 3 4 5 6 mod 10, you extracted 6 from 1 2 3 4 5 6. For the next iteration, what you have to do, you have to extract 1 through 1 2 3 4 5, that is digit, with digit to be divided. So to eliminate this, so again what you do, to the memory of temp, we will store the will store the number by dividing the original 1 2 3 4 5 6 divided by 10. When it is being divided, once you divide, what you'll get, you'll get 1 2 3 4 5. And remember, it is an integer division, it is an integer mod function, it is not, and mod function only works for integer, remember that. And division, since we have used long int or a long double, the answer will be not in floating value, it will be an integer value. For example, 1 2 3 4 5 6 divided by 10, it divides 6 times only, it divides 6 point something maybe, but we will consider only integer value, that is it will divide, sorry, 1 2 3 4 5 will be the answer. For example, you could see, just for the people who are beginners with the integer division and floating value division, you should understand or else you should find difficult. So it is 1 2 3 4 5 6, it is a big long integer number. You divide by 10. When you divide by 10, see, you will get 1 2 3 4 5 point 6, but 0.6 will not be considered. Why? Because it is an integer division, we do consider only 1 2 3 4 5. This is too important for your understanding of a C program. Similarly, for example, see, 1 2 3 divided by 10, so you should get the number as a 12. You should get the number as a 12. Clear? Similarly, this should be the answer. 12 3.3 will not be considered. Similarly, if you divide 1 divided by, okay, for example, 112, 12 divided by 10, you should get 1. 1.2 is answer, but 1 has to be considered. Same thing in tracing is there. So finally, 1 divided by 10, 1 divided to 10, so it is 0.1, but we'll consider 0. And what about mod function? See, 1 mod 10, so it will be 1 only. Okay, it should be, once again, 1 mod 10. So sorry, once again, clear? So now you see, One second. Okay. Okay. Now in the tracing, okay, fine. Hope all are audible. Request those who have not muted their sound, just mute, or else it will create a lot of disturbance to the class. So though I have muted all the voices. Now, now coming to 6, it is being divided. What you do? Into the temp, when you divide, you will get 1 2 3 4 5. Now for the next iteration, what you will do, whether 1 2 3 4, see, into the temp, the new memory of temp is 1 2 3 4 5. While 1 2 3 4 5 not equal to 0, what you do, while 1 2 3 4 5 not equal to 0, what will do, what you do, so not, yes, it is not equal to 0, you have to calculate the sum. What is sum? Sum is the sum plus the new mod, temp mod 10. What is a new temp? 1 2 3 4 5 mod 10. When you divide 1 2 3 4 5 divided by 10, the remainder will be the 5. Okay, so it will be the 5. So again, that 5 will be added over here to get the sum equals to 11. And then you have to calculate the new number for which you have to extract the digit. So that is 1 2 3 4 5 divided by 10. When you divide 1 2 3 4 5 divided by 1, integer division will be 1 2 3 4, right? Again 1 2 3 4. Again I'll continue whether 1 2 3 4 is 1 2, while 1 2 3 4 not equal to 0, you calculate the sum equals to 11 plus 4. How did you get 4? 1 2 3 4 mod 10, that gives a 4. Okay, so again, you new number, how do you evaluate? 1 2 3 4 divided by 10, you get 1 2 3, right? Similarly, this procedure continues here. Similarly, this procedure continues here. Again, 1 2 3 mod 10 is, what is that? 1 2 3 mod 10, you will get 3. Is it or not? Try to understand. How did you calculate the mod function? You divide 123 divided by 10. That is 123 mod 10. Clear? So I'll show you. It is a integer calculations. 123. You have a mod function. It is not working. 1 2 3. It is a percentage. Okay, here it is not mod function, so you have to go for a calculator. That is a scientific calculator. In the scientific calculator, you can calculate 1 2 3 mod 10, so you get 3. Clear? Similarly, I shown you one more thing, that is 1 mod 10, you should get 1. Clear? So this is the concept here. Same thing. 1 2 3 mod 10 is 3. So 3 will be added to the new here, that is 15 plus temp mod 10. So you will get 18. Then new number has to be calculated. How do you calculate the new number for the temp? 1 2 3 divided by 10, that will be 12. This is the iteration number 5 maybe, right? So then again 12, new number is being calculated here. Now see, temp is 12, while temp not equals to 12, sum will be the 18. 18 plus 2. How did you get this 2? 1 2 3 divided by 10. I have just not shown this on the screen. 1 2 3 divided by 10, so you will get 2. So 18 plus 2 is 20. Again, the new number has to be calculated. 12 divided by 10 is, it goes 1 times, right? New number will be 1. Finally, the last iteration, sixth iteration. So sixth iteration, what is that? 1. Is the temp not 1 not equal to 0? Yes. So you calculate the new sum. How do you calculate this new sum? 20 plus 20 plus you have the new temp value mod 10. 1 mod 10 is 1. I just shown you 1 mod 10 is 10. So 21 is being calculated. Okay. Fine. Fine. Next, similarly, 20 plus 1 is 21. And you have to calculate when will you stop. That is important. When will you stop the iteration? That is too important. No. So temp 1 divided by 10. So it is an integer calculation. Remember, it is not 0.6 something. It will go 0 times 0. Now again you have to calculate whether once you find 0, the while loop have not started, stopped. So while 0 not equal to 0, condition fails. 0 is equal to 0. So the condition fails. So what happens? Immediately these statements will not be executed within the while loop. What is the recent value of sum? The recent values of sum equals to 21. Hence 21 is being printed on the screen. The recent memory of 21 when you have come out of this program, so that will be stored. Hence the print after immediately coming out of the loop, you have to print sum of the digits of percentage LD is percentage LD. That is sum of the digits of percentage LD. Where do we have the original memory of percentage LD? It is stored in num. I didn't touch the num at all. I copied the memory of num into the sum, into the temp, and I iterated using temp mod 10, temp divided to 10, so that I get every time one eliminating one digit, and also I calculated the sum, right? Hence, the sum of these digits equals to 21. Hope all of you understood the tracing of this program. Even this tracing of program, I will populate it in the Google Classroom so that you have not, this is a very basic level. Remember, those who want to study data structures and algorithm, they should have an understanding of this looping concept, and they should be able to trace through the program. This is what had happened. Same thing in the switch statement also, the same program was there. So again, this was the concept of while loop, that is counting how many number of zeros are there, how many number of, so when you divide anything divided by number, so it will give the individual digit. It will extract the last digit, and whether that last digit, for example in this program, when you divide by mod, 2 will be extracted. So number of twos, so what it does, case switch it with the temp switch equals to 2. So count the number of twos. D2 will be incremented. Initially D2 is initialized to 0. No, D2 will be counted and it will be stored temporary. Again, what happened? One second. Sorry for the disturbance. So once again, uh, in this case also we have to eliminate, and let us trace this program. So I request you now to trace this program, and I'll submit this as an assignment in the Google Classroom. That itself is an assignment for you. That is, trace the program, and you have to populate it. I just want to check it out whether people have concepts of understanding and able to trace the program or not. To check it out, so what I will do, so I will give this as an assignment today. So I'll give you by Monday, just sit down and take a sheet of paper and trace the program. See, D1 all initials to 0. So D1 to count the number of zeros, ones, D2 to count the number of twos, D3 to count the number of threes, D4 to count the number of fours. Initialize, it is same as if some initialized to 0. All of you just concentrate. So don't divert. uh, all initialized to some initialized to 0. Then you have to enter the number. What is the number you have entered? You have entered the number. This is the number. So for this number, what will do? So you have to extract individual number and check whether it is 1, whether it is 2, whether it is 3, whether it is 4, whether it is 5, similarly till 9. So first, when you do a mod function, what happens? When you do a mod function, num divided by 10, so first iteration you will get 2. So you have to count the number of twos. So to count the number of twos, what happens? It will increment d2 plus plus. So d2 was initialized to 0. Now 1, d2 will be, d2 equals to 1 will happen. It will be stored in the memory till you exit out of the program. Similarly, switch is 2. No, again what happens? Again it will come here. It will come, since it is in the while loop, it will come here, num1 divided by 10. So num1 divided by 10 means, when you divide num1 divided by 10 as an integer, what happens? Just you will get this number, 8896 till 344, not 2. 2 will not be eliminated, 2 will not come. Again, divide mod function, 4 will be extracted. Count the number of d4, to count the number of fours. Again d4, again d3, again d5, d6, d9, d8, d8. So once it is all completed, so when you finally, yes, someone has raised the hand, Rohit. If you have any doubts, maybe you can first chat, then uh, we can have a discussion on audio, regarding any understanding of the program. Okay, so this I'll keep as an assignment, and if you are not able to follow, let us trace it. Same as, like, the thing is that you have to show me the tracing like this. You have to show me the tracing like this, simple tracing number 1 2 3 4 5 6. See, 6 iteration it will go. On the 7th iteration, what happens? It simply comes out. Why? Because while 0 not equal to 0. Similarly, in this program also, you have to show me how many iteration it will go. In fact, I'll count. You can, if you want. So it will you go, first iteration 2 will be extracted, and this number will be the new number for the next iteration. 4 will be extracted, second iteration, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 9 iteration will come. On the 10th iteration, what happens is the complete number will fall 0. So at that time, it will simply come out. See, by default, do nothing. So when it becomes 0, for 0, we have not written any case. Switch off 0, no case. It will not find any case over here, and it simply breaks, comes out of the program. So this is what the program here is, right? So now let me just brief of the concepts we have studied uh, in 7th session. I hope in online, last week's we took 3 sessions. This is the solid 4 sessions I have taken. Maybe this week we have not performed much well compared to the last week. Just arrays, strings, built-in functions, these have to be covered. So maybe in next 2 sessions I will discuss this briefly, and will directly switch over to the algorithms, or else we might find it difficult. Though the book is like a guide or a notes as such, but to understanding, someone's guidance is needed. It is not that uh, uh, yes, thank you. No, it's okay, Rohit. You can, if you have any doubts, frankly, you can ask. I need a session to be interactive, rather than going simply on one way. I understand that my sessions are going as of now with lot of theory, but nothing could be done, because to explain a logic or to give an exercise, live interactions is needed for such subjects. Anyway, but we will try to make it quite interesting in from second module. All right. Next, next, what is we have a concepts of arrays. Just a minute, we'll go these things you have. So let us start from a single dimensional array. Let us stop before we wind up the session. Array is a linear data structures. We'll understand what is data structures immediately. Linear means what? It is one by one, arranged in some sort of a linearly arranged. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is linearly arranged. Q is linearly arranged, right? Array is a linear data structure that groups the elements in similar types, and it is of the same type. We cannot mix up the array with the integer or a character altogether mixed together. So arrays are stored with the same types. Okay. Then, so there is an index called array subscript. So it is used to identify the location of element in the array. Okay, so we have a array is like a compartment. In simple language, if you understand, it is same as if like a compartment. In the compartment, see, it is a 0 is the name of this compartment, 1 is the name of the compartment, 2 is the name of the compartment, 3 is the, like, how do you store some items into your uh, uh, cupboard? For example, you have a cupboard and you have a four four divisions into the cupboard. So in the first cupboard, maybe you'll arrange some other items first for your convenient. Is same as if like we have an index in which cupboard which book has been kept. In the first cupboard, I have kept the physics. In the second cupboard, I have kept the chemistry. In the third cupboard, I have taken the maths. In zero cupboard, I have kept the in general books. So that makes some sense, arranging the elements, right, of the type. If we mix up the books, it is hardly difficult to find it out, no? So that is a concept. So the things are linearly arranged, 0, 1, 2, 3. It is called linearity. So some type of operations, what could be the operations that could be performed in the arrays? Insertion, deletion, traversal, sort, search. What is insertion? First, you could keep some material. Insertion, delete, remove it. Traversal, traversal is access each element of the array. I need to access this. Sort, that is you arrange in ascending, descending, right? Search the key element. I want to search the sum of the item that is placed in 3, where it is placed, whether it is placed here, whether it is placed here, whether it is placed here, so that is called a search. So we have single dimensional array. It represents the array in a single column. Clear? And we have multi-dimensional, you know it. So single dimensional. So let me start. So a of 0, a of 1, it is a name of the memory compartment. So we have a memory address. See, memory address b, b plus 2, b plus 4, b plus 6. Why? It is based on the size. Okay, p2 is the capacity, b plus 2 to this b. If this is a fixed b, 2 individual bytes will be added. And what about the, this is the value of what is stored in a of 0, 10, a of 1, 20. Similar as right, logical representation, a single dimensional array. Theoretically you have to go through. So here is a program to find the average of 10 numbers. Average of 10 numbers, how do you calculate average of 10 numbers? You have to add the given numbers, that is, see, average of 10 numbers, any numbers. It is not that you should give in linearly only. 1, 2, 3, 4 has to divide by, and you should divide by 10. So how do you do? Simply, if you don't use an array, so what is the difficulty? The difficulty is that individually you have to print, enter the first number, enter the second number, enter the third number. Okay, so I request you to give the attendance in the session. I go and explain this program because we left with a short of 10 minutes for the class. So you give the attendance and you hear to my lecture before I end. Okay, so array, enter the 10 integers. See, enter the 10 integers. You tell me now, my question is, will you go on entering 10 times printf statements or 10 times scanf statements for 10 different integers? It is a highly difficult task. Like, the memory consumption is more and a lot of work has to be done from your side. So at that time, I will come to know that yes, I will go with the arrays rather than what, giving individual statement of printf and scanf. Hence, what I'll do, I'll use an array. Whenever you use an array, using loop is very compulsory, right? That is, for I equal to 0, initial as I equal to 0, till where I have to end, till I less than equals to 9, that is a of 0. See, this is stored in a of 0. I just annotate, this is stored in a of 0. This is a of 2. 3, 4, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So finally, this is stored in A of 9. So the indexing starts from here. This is I equal to 0. I less than equals to 9. Remember, till it reaches 9, you should iterate. Till where I have to iterate, right? So initialize the sum to 0. Sum equals to 0. It is initialized in the upper program. 0 plus A of I. What is A of I? Before that, once again, uh, you have to enter. You have to memorize how to store the elements into the array. How do you store the elements into the array? See, for I equal to 0, I less than equals to 9. Instead of writing the scanf 10 times, as I said, you write only once time. Scanf percentage d, enter, that is asking for the keyboard 1 into the memory of A of 0. Again, loop will repeat whether I equals to I is incremented, whether 1 is less than 9. Yes, it is less than 9. Yes, store 2 into A of 2. Again, 3 you enter from the keyboard. Again, 3 less than 9, percentage d, enter 3 into A of 5. So even this is a very interesting program for a tracing, right? Similarly, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When it comes to the 9, 9 less than equals to 9. Yes, you enter store 9 into A of 9. Again, it is incremented. It becomes 10. 10 less than equals to 9. No, it falls. So by that time, you come out of the for loop. By that time, what is there in the memory? In the memory, these items are being stored. Then you have to come to the computation. What is a computation? Again, you have to use the loop. That is, for I equal to 0, for I less than 9, I plus plus, use sum plus A of 0. What is A of 0? 1. 1 is stored. 0 plus 1 is 1. Again, the loop is iterate. I equals to 2. 2 less than 9. Yes. Add 1 plus A of 2. So A of 2, the memory of A of 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. Again, it is computed. I equals to 3. So 3 less than n. Yes. Sum, that is 3 plus A of 3 is 3 plus 3, new memory 9. So similarly, it goes on till you reaches 9. A of 9. Yes, sum. What is the memory of sum? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Adding plus 9, that will be added and that will be fetched. When it becomes 10, it comes out of the loop. What is the memory of sum? By that time, the memory of sum will be something like, I'll show you what is the, you'll have 1 plus 2. Every iteration, it will be added 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus like that it will go plus 8 plus 9 plus it will go 37 you will have in the memory. In fact, you could display in the program also immediately after coming the loop, the value of the sum equals to printf, open the bracket, the value of sum equals to percentage d sum, you could display that time 37 has to be displayed. Then what you have to do, so average is displaying the result, right? Average is nothing but to sum divided by 10, because since you are entering for 10 numbers, average is nothing but sum divided by the 10. So see here, he has taken average equals to floating, because we need a floating value. We need floating values, though entered value is sum, or else what happens if you don't use a floating value, what happens, the average will be, so it like this, divided by 37 divided by 10. So you'll get 3.7. 3.7 you'll get. So what he has done is, you have to calculate the average of it. Okay, so I hope all of you have followed to an extent this concept of my concept is not to teach the mathematical concept here, it is ultimately to teach you the concept of single dimensional array, how the arrays values are stored and being calculated. Clear? So as of now, next we have multidimensional, same as if like. So I'll just once review through the syllabus what we have to complete. We have to complete arrays, strings, built-in functions. So these are all not in brief. Structures and unions will come across in downside. That's why what we'll do, I'll not go in detail. See, module 2 arrays, again arrays repeat, so I don't want to stress more over here. So what we'll prepare is next class hardly will go with a one session, and we will try to switch out the module 2 3 as such. So then we will have some sort of a confidence to into the subject, and whenever it is needed, we can come back to the module 1 and we can have a recap of the concept, because these programs all have to be iterated on the board. So we'll go with the iterations as such. For example, see here, many people have a maybe question, so why it is being multiplied with 1.0 multiplied by the sum? Why? Because see, what is the sum you got is an integer value. See here, sum is a integer value, so float is average value. We have a conversion, so average is a floating value, float value. So it is, you have to multiply with 1.0 divided by the 10. So that will display the, that will calculate the average. Then percentage 2f is restricting the value for a decimal value for 0.2 error. See, so it will 5.50, it comes long, it comes long, so we have to restrict it. In fact, you could see the average of it, so we don't know it is a 5.7. See, 10 we missed it here, it is not 37. 37 plus 10, all of you see here, 37 plus 10 divided by 10. So 4.7 it is coming. So maybe we missed some calculations. So you have to add this till 10 divided by 10. Same thing is being happening over here. Why this 1.0? To determine the floating value, or else we will get directly 5 only. 5 point, for example, 5.52 means it will not display 5.50. It will display 5. Since it is average is a floating value, we have to convert it. That is casting. We can type casting. So 1.0 sum multiplied with the divided by the 10 to get the average value, right? So as of now, today session will stop. So immediately we'll start on Tuesday 12:35 sessions, one sessions with the we'll have. And if you have any doubts, please I request you to raise the hand, or you can mm, ask me the questions, so I may enable the audio. Hope all of you have given the attendance. Yeah, I'll share it. I'll share the, I just scanned. I'll share the notes into the Google Classroom. So as I said, there is no specific notes for the syllabus, as the book itself is a very simple language that is being given topic wise. It is better to go with the book itself. Book itself could be a notes. It is my suggestion. Separate notes, it's of no use, Manohar. I'll share it into the Google Classroom, that also unit wise, so that you can refer it, and I suggest you go through only the book and only the book questions that is being given, that is have displayed it. So I have less than 1 minute to the session, right? So we have the mm, uh, this questions.